Okay, this is going to be a demonstration of my technique for temperature surfing with a heat exchanger machine. My espresso machine is the Vetrano by Quick Mill, and it is a heat exchanger machine. So what does that mean? Well, the heat exchanger machine uses the steam boiler to heat the hot water which is used for brewing the espresso. And this works well, but there is one problem. When the machine sits idle for a while, the water that's being heated for the brew water will get to a very hot temperature. And you can demonstrate this by pulling the lever with the portafilter removed. And you can hear the sputtering of the hot water as it comes out because it's heated to temperatures which are actually over the boiling temperature of water. My thermometer tells me that temperature is somewhere around 214 degrees. What I do is I use a digital thermometer which is mounted on the group head and a digital timer which I use for timing purposes to do what is called temperature surfing. So how do we do that? Well, number one, I'm prepared here. I have my milk poured in my pitcher. I have my portafilter set up with the coffee already in place, ground espresso. And once I do that, I'm ready to start. The first thing I do is do my drawdown of temperature. And to do this, I use the digital thermometer, which is mounted on the group head and has the probe directly into the hot brew water. So my temperature indication is going to be fairly close to what the actual temperature is going to be for the brew water. Starting out, this temperature is reading 214 degrees. And what I like to do is bring it down to somewhere in the 207 temperature range, which I'm at right now. So then I remove the cup, which is now preheated, because I like to have a hot cup. Insert my portafilter. Start my timer. And I use a scale with the cup directly under the portafilter because I like to draw my coffee directly into the cup. And then I wait 20 seconds for recovery. So once I get to the 20 seconds, I start my steaming of the milk. I like to have the milk steamed while I'm drawing my espresso. And so what I do is I start the steaming process at 20 seconds, and then at 40 seconds, I start the brewing of the espresso. Okay, now I'm monitoring the temperature of the milk as it's steamed with my hand on the outside of the little pitcher. Once I get the temperature, I stop the steaming. And now I'm watching the weight. And once it reaches 64 grams, which is equivalent to 2 ounces of espresso, I turn off the espresso machine, take my milk, pour it into my espresso. I like to pre-mix it slightly. And I also like to have the milk ready to put into the espresso, so it's put in within 10 seconds after completing my brew cycle. Having done that, I'm now ready to finish my cup of espresso. And voila, I have a cup which is ready to go. For subsequent cups of coffee, I do the same thing with a slight variance. The recovery time is different. So I still use a cup under the group head. I bring my temperature again down to the 207, 208 temperature range. Remove the cup, put my portafilter back on. But now instead of starting my steaming cycle at 20 seconds, I wait until 40 seconds because it takes a little bit longer to recover on the subsequent cups of coffee. So I'll steam the coffee at the 40-second point, and then still wait an additional 20 seconds, which means at the 1-minute point, I will start my brewing of the espresso. And then I would do that for however many cups I'd continue to make. If the machine sits there for a while, I go back to my original timing of steaming after 20 seconds, brewing after 40 seconds. So all you have to do is get your digital thermometer and your digital timer, and if you like, a digital scale. I'm kind of a digital brewmaster. And you're ready to go. And the only thing you need to do is then adjust your timing schedule to match your machine and your taste. So it's not going to be exactly the same as what I do with my Vetrano, and because my taste might be slightly different than yours, your timings might be different. But this is what we call surfing, or temperature surfing, for a heat exchange espresso machine.